We have ran the Pally Clash. We have done both days of Daytona 500 qualifying. We have done the Pally Duels, and yesterday we kicked off the return of the Krispy Kreme National Series, the first time in 5 years. But now it's time for the big one. It is the Season 6 JBL Cup Series Daytona 500. We've seen so many crazy races, so many crazy crashes, so many crazy finishes in this race, and someone will add their name to the list of Daytona 500 winners here today. It's the Season 6 JBL Cup Series, and it's the Season 6 Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway. What's up, everyone? It's the boy, and it's Race 97, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and boy, it is good to be back here for the Season 6 of the JBL Cup Series. Officially start the points racing here today. 28 races and 18 in the regular season, 10 in the chase. Going to be very interesting on how that plays out this season. However, it's Daytona. It's the Daytona 500. Nobody in the field is worrying about points here today. They just want to win one of, if not the biggest races all year long. We got the team owner of 2311 Racing of Jack Haas up here in the booth. It's been a wild speed so far. Welcome to the Daytona 500.
Oh, happy to be here. Happy to get the biggest race of the year underway. We've had some exciting racing up to this point. We got lots of storylines to get us off talking, at least for today. Surely we'll make a whole lot more today that we can go off of through the rest of the season, but I'm just ready to get going. It's the big one, like you said, biggest race of the year. Bragging rights are on the line. Who gets it done?
It's definitely going to be very interesting on who can get the job done. We have a lot of strong drivers starting up in the front, a lot of rookies as well. We have 9 of them in the field, and we have one starting second in the 500 for the second year in a row, and that is the dual 2 winner of Brian Varga. With how set the rookie class is this season, and with a lot of them starting up towards the front, how do you think that's going to play into a factor here today?
It's definitely going to be interesting. They may be rookies to this series, however, this rookie class that we have, stacked, as you said, definitely very experienced in other forms of racing throughout the universe. So I'm expecting big things from a lot of them. We've got just simply massive names from other series. Nicholas Samadillo in the 77 car, Stuart Gratton in the 47 car, Rogel Dorn is here, but we've also have some names that, you know, I'm familiar with them, but not necessarily in the NR world, like Kenneth Miller in the number 4. Known him for a long time, haven't seen him racing in our NR offline universe, so I'm excited to see that. And you had talked about our outside pole sitter, Braden Varga. That's a name I don't believe I've ever heard before, so I'm excited to see what all these guys are able to do, lined up with our series veterans, I should say.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a fun story to watch all seasons. I do think with how stacked the rookie class is, a lot of them could be favorites throughout the 2025 season. And one story I will mention that you might not be happy, because I might just jinx him here, but we got Travis Crampton in that blue and yellow number 45. He's been so good here at Daytona, especially in the dual races. He's won 3 out of the 6 and almost won, got third in his duel on Thursday. But unfortunately, he's only finished inside the top 10 twice, finished 20th one year, and then the other 2 he's finished outside the top 30. So we'll see if he can have some Daytona 500 luck here today. Bradley Weem won the pole for the Daytona 500 on Tuesday, and he is alongside the number 14 rookie of Brian Varga, who won dual race number 2. In row number 2, we got Eli Bright in first time since season 1, Alexander Lowe in the number 41, Travis Crampton and Duncan Wood in the number 8, Rogel Dorn in the number 3, and the Power Clash one in controversial fashion, made it into the Fast 10 and starts 8th here today. That's Nick Lopez. And then we got Logan Williams in the number 38 and Bruno Diacomo in the number 10. We'll also mention the 6 drivers that made it into the Daytona 500. Brian Beal in the 62 and Riley Spurley too, last year's 500 winner. They made it in on speed. And then David Dixon won dual number 1, but he starts in the back. And then Rippleton in the 84. Skylar Taylor made it in the 44. And Brennan Wilmington in the number 60 made it into the field and rounds out the 42 car field. And unfortunately, 8th round for Angel Gutierrez, Keegan Thompson, and Chris Reynolds for the 4 cars that did not make it into the Season 6 Daytona 500. With all the rookies, all of the veterans, and the 6 Daytona 500 only drivers, everyone wants to win here at Daytona. But I'm going to put you on the spot, Mr. Jack Haas. Who do you think will win the 2025 and Season 6 JBL Cup Series Daytona 500?
I have absolutely no idea. Not even a clue how this is going to go. We're going to be cycling from the front to the back for all 50 laps of this race. Probably get some 3 and 4 wide racing that will cause crashes and take out contenders and others alike. We saw a Daytona 500 only driver in Riley Spurley too last year pick up the Daytona 500 victory. I'm not expecting the same. I'm expecting a level playing field. We're still at the start of the season, ratings are close, but I'm going to make a biased pick. Travis Crampton is close to winning this thing every year. He wins his dual races seemingly on a yearly basis. If he doesn't win, he's up close to winning the dual race. I don't know how you don't pick him. This has got to be the one where he pulls through.
He's been basically the driver that we mention every year that, he does so good in the duels, but he has such bad luck in the 500s, but he always wants up front. There's just something about Daytona that he has speed, and once again, he starts up front. Will today be the day for the 6th time be the charm for that number 45 machine? Make sure everyone is rolling in. They are. It's been a fantastic speed race, and we are just getting started for the 2025 JBL Cup Series. Thank you for everyone that has helped along the way, and everyone that has signed up, everyone that is a part of the series. And we are just getting started, and it's going to be a fantastic Season 6 of the JBL Cup Series. And it will be led by Bradley Weem in the number 22, Brian Verga in the number 14. The Season 6 JBL Cup Series Daytona 500 is going at Daytona. Side by side for the race lead still between the front row stars of Weem and Volker, side by side. And at the line, getting the first lap, letting getting a bonus point towards the championship will be the rookie of Brennan Volker in the number 14 for Storehouse Racing. And it's going to be interesting all day. This is the biggest field we will have all season long, 42 cars. And anyone has a shot to win, but that 14 has been fast all speed weeks long. And all the way to the point on that number 2.
Didn't take us long to get to the 3 wide racing that was mentioned plenty in our pre-race segment. 3 wide works. We can do 3 wide, but once they start peeking the nose in looking for that 4 wide racing, that's when we start to see our issues. Hopefully your drivers here today will, show a little bit of restraint. Yes, it's the exciting Daytona 500, but you're not going to win it on lap 2 or lap 3, so love to see it. Just nice, clean racing. We can go 3 wide, but let's not crash these cars up. We need everybody to have a shot at the end of it. It's Brandon's looking for 2nd place inside of Bradley Reed. That 14 car's fast. Just at the time of because of the timing of our recording, I didn't get to see the duels, so I don't know what we raced like. I don't know what cars were strong and whatnot. I know who won them. So I'm curious to see who makes their way to the front if they're not already at the front and can stay there.
Yeah, Glenn Volga won the duel, and honestly, he dominated. And we saw this in Group 1 of 500 qualifying. This 14 was fast. It was fast in single car qualifying. It was fast in the duel, and honestly, if nobody can pass this 14, we could honestly see a rookie win the 500 GP today in dominating fashion. But it's going to be a long race, 42 cars, and we're only on that number 4 of 50, and surely nutrition could be a factor, either mechanically or crash damage wise. And we're gonna have some new faces all day long here today. And William is trying to shove Crampton, and once again, I sound like a broken record, but I think Crampton has a good shot here today. Side by side, Crampton and Volga for the race lead, coming to lap number 5.
Can't tell if he's gonna get it or not. I don't think he did. He's got enough. There's a bonus point for a lap lead. We like to see that in the 2311 camp. I didn't know if he was going to have the momentum. He didn't have anybody pushing on the back over, and looks like he's slowly getting some help from Rogaldorn in the number three. Sorry, but the Fords working up top seem to be a little bit tighter. And as I say that, the inside line is strong and splitting, and it's hard to even hold a topic because it's just ever changing. But that's what we love.
Welcome to Daytona. That happens at Daytona a lot, and I've said it a lot in the past where I say one thing and then it instantly changes on a dime here, and it's going to be the case all day long. How about some of these rookies though up front, like Volga, Dawn, Wyatt Wilkinson has been strong all speed weeks, and this has been a good surprise to see out of Rickville Racing in the 15 and 51 machine. But you got Alexander Vitale, another Team Penske car, ran up front last year and started second in the 500. You got Trey Barlow, you got Jordan Edwards, two of the Hinnett cars that got taken out controversially in the Power Clash. And no Clifton as well, a lot of 3 wide, and now Clifton has help. He might be able to pass and keep the race lead for now. Great push from Dorn and Wilkinson behind, and now I think he's going to keep it. Crampton to the point on lap number 7.
There, now if he can just, for the next 44 laps, block all 3 lanes, I'd love to see an exciting battle for second. I'm just kidding, I want to see a good race. For the lead, unfortunately, it looks as though we might have our first car dropping off of the back. I believe that was the 21 of Andrew Miller.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate. That's not what you want to see this early in the race. Hopefully this was just a product of a bad block or something. Maybe got loose in the exit of a corner. Hopefully with the luck of a caution, he'd be able to get back up to the field and stay there. But as we know, if there is a caution, it's probably taken out a bunch of other guys too. So careful what we wish for, I suppose. That's unfortunate for the 21 team, though.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Why the team of this year, and that 21 car, with lanes or without lanes, has been very fast the last 2 seasons. And season 4 when it was equal lanes, and last season with the being the weekly lanes format. And I think that 21 team's going to be a sweeper all year, but unfortunately lost the draft early on. Crampton doing exactly what he's known to do here at Daytona. He did this briefly in his dual race on Thursday, and now he's controlled the lanes. And we got 3 rookies all behind him. Volga up top, Dorn in the middle, Wilkinson on the bottom. And I'm gonna be honest, this field is scaring me a little bit. We're not even 10 laps in, and we are 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Multiple steep, and I'm liking where Owen Miles and Sestry are in the back. But look at that move from Volga, top to bottom, and once again, to the point, all by himself, to the race lead.
That's a power move if I've ever seen one. Obviously, just with the physics of this Superspeedway drafting style racing, that's something that you can do. You get the run going into the corner, cut down to the bottom, shorter distance around the turn, and then slide back in front of your competitor. However, not every car can do it. You gotta have a strong enough vehicle to make that pass work, and evidenced by the fact, starting second and has, I don't think, been outside the top 3 all day. That 14 is a car that can do it. That's a that's going to be a competitor all day for sure.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Crampton tried doing it by himself, almost got cleared, but not gonna look out for him. And the bad thing for Crampton, one, he doesn't really have any Toyota help. The closest Toyota is Kennington, and he's up top. Besides that, we got the 14, 22, 41, 38, 51, the 2, the 12. So many Fords are up front right now, and not a lot of Chevys or even Toyotas at the moment. Burnett is trying to make some moves in the number 20 back there. And now we got Ream and Volga, the front row starters inverted. And looks like 10 laps in. And this might be the big 3 early on here in the Daytona 500.
Didn't mean to interrupt there. It just looked as though the 19 and 41 were getting awfully close in that tri-oval. I thought we were going to have just a massive accident at the front of the field. Fortunately, that was avoided. Not sure what Crampton's going for here. He's got no help at the moment. The pack should catch up really quickly now that they've gone double wide for second place. That was interesting. I don't think a 3-car pack would have ever pulled away, but I mean, if you could stay out front and run single file, and everybody else is fighting back, what a run by the 3. Just got put outside. 38 of... Yeah, I thought that was Logan Williams, just had to confirm. Big run. Oh, just got the nose cut off his car, essentially. This is nuts. This is crazy.
Even though the 14 is controlling the field, we got so many big moves being made, and you mentioned that Logan Williams in this number 38, a big time opportunity for him this season. And honestly, I think he could be a dark horse for this championship. Has the most wins out of anyone in the Cup Series with 7 in just 2 seasons. Just absolutely incredible. And have to see what he can do for Front Row Motorsports. Weem side by side with Farga for the race lead once again. Dorn Lowe, who won the Hose Sprint Series race here on Wednesday night. So he has some experience here at Daytona. Wilkinson, and now a lot of double file. After all the 3 wide have started throughout the field, a little bit 3 wide in the back still, but oh no, they were wrecking the race leader.
Oh no! He must have had mechanical troubles. There's no reason he should have been down on the bottom like that.
Suspension.
Oh,
suspension failure in the lead. You gotta be kidding me.
That's heartbreaking. I was going to say, there's no way that he was able to spin off the bumper of Bardo, seeing as the 24 was outside the top 10.
And the caution's not out. There's no caution somehow. What?
I thought they were racing back to the caution.
I thought so too. Juan Garcia is on pit road as well. No caution. He was still green. Somehow. I guess the 14 was barely on the apron. Yeah, all the skim marks were down on the apron. So no caution. The field is all spread out. We have a 4-car breakaway and local Dorn, Alexander Lowe, Bradley Ream, and Wyatt Wilkinson. I'm stunned, and now, depending on how this race goes, we might end up going caution free now.
Yeah, I was just about to make the comment before that incident happened, how it seemed as though the entire top 10, top 15, nobody really had any teammates to work with. You talked about the JGR, or even the Toyota specifically, alliance a few laps ago, and it didn't seem like anybody had any official teammates around them whatsoever. But now, with our most recent development, it's even more significantly spread out. Oh, this is... I don't know what to say. That's... Wow, big break for these 4 drivers. That's almost a 3-second gap between 5th place. We'll see what happens at the line here. You would expect the bigger pack to gain in. But
oh, yep.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's funny. Both my drivers are leading the big pack.
Oh yeah, I do think eventually we will reform. There's not really that many slow cars at all. Of course Miller, but he's really not off the pace, he just lost the draft. Unfortunately, Zachary Fitzwater, I think, got the short end of the stick in that one. He looks to be off the pace and being caught by Andrew Miller. I don't know what else to say. That was a staple change without me even really doing one. How about Nicholas Samadeo with number 77, one of the top guys in the JBL Cup Series with the ratings, and now he is up front with all that chaos that happened. And this is someone that might have to watch out for one of the top 4 rookies this season.
I don't even think it stops there. As somebody that hasn't been in the community a terribly long time, I know the ratings are somewhat newer, but you mentioned his star power in the JBL Cup Series, and that's a guy that, if I'm not mistaken, has not been inside the top 3 of any rating series over on AG's channel. So, you say top 3 or 4 rookies this year. I see no reason why he wouldn't be top 3, 4 overall.
Oh yeah, definitely. That car is the same car that won the Season 5 championship with the number 77 of Josh Williamson. And that car could be very strong once again. I will say that...
owner that knows what he's doing too.
Yep, Caleb Rose knows exactly what he's doing. And I think that team's going to be just as strong as last season. And here we go. This first pack of 3, that is a massive pack, is catching up. And this is smart, allowing Williams, Crampton, Samadeo, Zidell to all get single file for the most part and catch back up. Eventually, I think we'll have these guys get caught, but I'm still shocked that was not a caution. A tough way for Varga, who dominated speed rates here, and unfortunately a suspension failure. We got Zidell, Crampton, Samadeo, Logan Williams, Noah Clifton up front now. The other record car of Duncan Halverston, Anthony Hernandez, who won the Krispy Kreme Natural Series race yesterday. David Ditson, the first Daytona 500 only driver up front. Aaron Apel, Alexander Vitale, J.L. Littleton, Warren Kennington, Jordan Edwards, and then Burnett, Stout, Beal, Kenneth Miller, Spurley Tube. A lot of these 500 only cars are making their way up to the front despite of what happened early on, and here we go. We have at least a pack now here on lap 20 in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, it's good to see that second big pack getting single file potentially. I don't know how many or how deep in the field that pack extends. We would love to see everybody get pulled back up, but I don't know if that's an option, especially with our 2 cars at least off the pace. Why? What happened now?
The 14, Juan Garcia, I think he was involved, and he's out with a tire now.
Oh.
So,
we did see him pull into the pit road, but that's unfortunate.
The 14 is out with a suspension issue and then got spun around, but didn't have a lot of damage, so that suspension failure must have dug in that 14 machine. And then unfortunately the all-time wins leader on the channel, Juan Garcia, is not going to get one here today. And the number 48. How about Justin Liddell? Drove for Frontmoor Motorsports last season, went to Team Penske, and he's been solid, he's been quiet, but this team and Team Penske, they were strong last year at the Superspeedways. They were strong in the 500, of course, Burley did 1. And we got all 3 of them inside the lead pack. And we got Spurley back here that's trying to get into the lead pack as well. And it's going to be interesting on how this plays out, because it looks like, for now, we have, let's see this time, by about 19, 20 cars in this lead pack. We might get 25, 26 more in total, depending on if these 5 or 6 get caught to the lead pack. And the thing is, chat, we are not even halfway through this race. We can still easily get a caution even in a 19 or 20 car pack. We saw that in the dual races. On Thursday we had a 23 car pack and we went to 8. So even though we only have 20 cars, this is plenty big enough here at Daytona to have a wreck and have a restart.
Oh, 100% it is. No question about that whatsoever. You got to keep in mind too, this is the Daytona 500. If there were 4 cars out there, they would wreck each other going for this spin. So, I mean, I don't want to say I'm expecting it, but I'm kind of expecting it. And just to note on what you talked about, looks as though those 5 are going to get caught up. So that's great news. Just to throw some more to fight for the victory here today. One thing I did notice at the start, and that incident that was not a caution for some reason, has not thrown a wrench into that plan, is the Penske cars. You talked about all three of them being all three of them have been at the front all day. And actually, there's another one on the bottom line, 5 cars back, Riley Spurley too, that had to start at the rear of this field and is just about to the front. So, something about that team, they have this place figured out. That 0-2 specifically, thinking back to last year's race. One thing we neglected to talk about, though, is the good guys back up front again.
The Daytona 500 dual masters back out front in Travis Crampton, and honestly, I think this. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Spurley 2 was made 4 wide.
Oh no, that's not what we need. Oh.
I think we are gonna get out of it.
Kenneth Miller can clear the 9. He's done it. That's great.
Well, back to what I originally was gonna say. Crampton, he's been so good at Daytona, but not been to victory in the 500. I think he could be one of the strongest colors now that unfortunately Volga is out. But how about this? 4 out of the 6 500 only colors up front. And we got Brian Beal in the number 62. Spurley 2 in the 02. Littleton in the 84. And David Dixon in the 50 batting in the middle of the pack. This is going to get good halfway throughout the line in the Daytona 500. And honestly, we still have a big enough pack with anyone that has lost the pack is not done yet. Spurley 2 3 wide. And how about this, chat? 3 by 3 by 3 throughout the entire pack.
And Wilkinson almost peaking 4 there. That could have been hazardous coming into the tri-oval. I don't know what to say about this 0-2 team. They essentially dominated this race last year. I don't remember it perfectly, but they were at the front of the field for a large majority of that race. And here we are halfway through the race today, my bad, coming from the back to the front and probably going to lead this lap, unless Duncan Ward tries some crazy business on the going into turn 3 here. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This is not
This is not the
good.
time to be going 3 by 3 by 3.
The good thing for the field is that Andy Miller is supposedly not off of the pace with major engine issues or anything or damage. He just lost the pad, unfortunately. So,
but he's gonna throw this into disarray regardless of his speed. This is. Oh, you'd love to see them get single file, but there is simply not enough time for that. They should have him caught on turn 3, I would expect.
yeah,
oh dear.
Yeah, they're gonna catch him in the middle of the bat stretch, and unfortunately, we'll start little guy of Crampton.
Don't go high. He went high.
And that's how things go. Crampton is gonna get blocked, and most likely he's gonna be the last caller to get past Andy Miller. And bye-bye 45 for the time being. Spurley 2 in second, Ward in third, Wilkinson, Hernandez, Monaco, Williams, Dorn, all up front now on this inside lane. These guys need to be patient, getting past Andy Miller. Not damaged, but definitely that color is just off today, because he is not even really reforming in the pack. He's just holding everybody up. Meanwhile, look at Hernandez with a big move on the inside of the 51 of Wilkinson. And now this is going to be interesting. I don't know if we will actually see a caution here today, even with this 20 plus car lead pack. Here comes Logan Williamson, number 38, with a great one on the inside. Beal is controlling the field. And it's Spurley 2 on the outside, Ward on the inside.
Did you say earlier, and once again, just with the timing of this recording, I haven't seen the Krispy Kreme race, but you said the 6 is going for the weekend sweep, is that correct?
Yes, Hernandez did win in dramatic fashion yesterday in the National Series.
Okay, something to keep an eye on late in this race. I don't know if that's. I'm sure it must have happened at some point, but I can't think, at least in recent memory, of a time where the drivers had the weekend sweep. So that's a pretty cool storyline to follow along. Going back to the 21 car, I think, as you mentioned, he's got a decent enough car that he can hang with the pack, but I don't think he's by any means got a car that's strong enough to come up to the front and lead. Like, he hasn't lost this pack. Crampton is still unfortunately stuck behind him, but you know, he's hanging on to the rear bumper of the cars ahead of him too. Look at this move. A couple of Daytona 500 only drivers battling it out completely by themselves for the time being. That's going to change really quickly, but this is impressive. I don't understand how this happens every year, but it sure does.
Yeah, this is the second year that we've done the 500 only colors, and of course for a long time we had part-time colors for the entire scene, but they tend to be strong here. And look at that one from Logan Williams. He was able to catch up with them, and to the point, Logan Williams in the number 38 machine. And it's going to be interesting. It's kind of odd to see these guys every once in a while form a two-car breakaway, and then they go for the lead themselves and then get caught. Oh boy, here comes David Dixon, the 500 only driver.
Another one.
Who won duel number 1. He's out for it now.
Yeah, we know that car's fast. Just evidenced by the fact of winning one of the duels. Unfortunately for them, with the format of this series, having to go back to the start, or the rear of the field, excuse me. But clearly that hasn't been an issue for them today. Already fighting for second and looking to have a strong run for the lead now that we are 19 laps to go. And even has a teammate right there to the outside, and another one 6 cars back. So David's definitely not there by himself. He's got some cars to work with. We have a lot more Toyotas in this pack too than we did at the start of the race. So there's some manufacturer alliances to be had, and unfortunately Miller has been spit out of this pack. So fortunately I don't think there's enough time that they will catch him again. So that should be off the table, we pray. Where's our friend Fitzy, though? I know he's out there by himself.
Oh, well. That's what I wanted. We are about to catch up with Fitzwater in the number 71. How about Jordan Stout, though? We didn't really mention him all season so far in the Clash or Speed Weeks. He is the defending Season 5 Power Truck Series champion last year. And that was a winning series, and he was just so consistent. He didn't really win a lot until late in the season, and that ended up getting a wide that little team, and definitely a step up. Liberals has been very consistent, but 2311 is a step up, I would say, and convincingly what ends up happening for Jordan Stout. It's interesting of how this is happening again. Stout and Williams are pulling away from everybody in his lead pack, and like you said, we only have less than 20 laps to go now. If they keep on doing this, I don't know if we will get a crash, and it might just come down to the top, I want to say top 24 cars for this Daytona 500 win.
Well, you got to remember the top 24 is still more than half of this field. This is anybody's game, especially with this lap car that we're quickly catching up to. Now, we were able to navigate around the first one safely, which was fantastic. Hoping for more of the same with Fitzwater. Wow, I just can't get enough. How are they doing this? It seems to be that they're pulling away from the pack.
They are. They came like a 10th. What's going on?
I don't know, but I like it. If they can keep it up, you know, Jordan definitely showing why we brought him over to the 2311 camp this year. Just a strong competitor overall. I've had Jordan for a brief stint in one of, I believe it was one of Travis's series. I can't remember.
I believe so.
Unfortunately, we never got to see the end of that one. But Jordan was, I want to say, 3rd or 4th in points at the time of that disbanding. So, you know, that based on his championship last year, his performance with the Wood Brothers last year in the Cup Series, that was really all I needed to see. It was unfortunate to see Hubert head out to Hendrick. We really appreciated having him on the team and getting myself my first points paying win at Pocono last year, but very happy to have Jordan with us this year, and he's proven why we went out and picked him up.
Oh yeah, definitely a great pickup. One of many Celestine moves that I'm fairly interested on how things play out. Another one is unable in number 11, and he might be in a tricky situation. That same deal about made it 4 wide. 14 laps to go. The point of no return is around lap 3, so we still have plenty of time to get a caution. But this is odd. Fitzwater looks like he is better off than what Ian Miller is, and he's actually racing these guys up front.
I can't necessarily say I'm surprised by that. Fitzwater was in the pack when the incident with Varga occurred early in the race. It's just some unfortunate mishap that caused him to lose the pack. But he has the speed to keep up with everybody else. He's driving for Spotter. We know all three of those guys are going to be fast this year, or at least I would expect. So hopefully he races clean with our leaders. Doesn't do anything silly, but I don't really expect him to fall off. He's just gonna be I don't know how to word it.
Imagine if he helps his teammate win the 500 of San Mateo.
That would be interesting. That's not even something I had considered. But yes, you're right. And we know the 77 is quick enough to be up there. He was there once earlier today. I don't know if he officially led a lap. I can't remember. But we know he was at the front.
San Mateo definitely has a good car. He keeps on thinking about making it full wide on enable. And we'll see of how things go. Once again, these two are the best two cars here late in the going in the Daytona 500. I don't know if anyone has a shot at catching them, and unfortunately, they might do of what they did again, and this is so odd. We didn't see this really at all. We saw a hint of it, but nothing on this extreme in the dual races. And we even made eye changes, so that just shows that those two are some of the best cars here today at Daytona. And Hernandez trying to get by Fitzy and then 71, but he just can't. I feel like 11 laps to go at the line. I feel like these guys might get aggressive, and it's not over yet in the 500, but it's looking really good for one of these two to win here today.
Yeah, especially considering they have, essentially a blocker. I don't know if I'd call that a blocker, actually, as Fitzwater is going again to the inside of Logan Williams. Definitely not blocking for our two leaders. He's going to split up the two-car tandem, and this should allow everybody to just pile back into the mess. Noah Clifton getting a run, getting the draft from that 71. David Dixon on the outside, getting the draft from Logan. And Hernandez has moved his way to the top too. That's an interesting move. I would have thought the bottom would be the way to go, but I mean, if you're gonna get that pole up high, might as well.
And he got a massive push from Jordan Edwards in that number 9 machine, and he still has a shot. And all these guys are going to the top side, and they don't want to mess around. Apparently, they don't want to just ride on the bottom behind Fitzwater, who's not even on the lead lap. Beal almost gained up the racetrack a little bit with Crampton back there. 9 laps to go at the line, currently 10 to go. Point of no return is 3 laps to go. This feels like a green flag 1 to the finish, especially with these two being out front. 23-11 racing, I don't know what you have done. I kind of saw this in the duels where they were up front, but I didn't see this where they are just pulling away from the field. And Logan Williams again, 2-car tandem, 2011 style here, and pulling away once again. And we have any other lap cars? No, we have a second big pack back here that we have to keep in mind. If these guys get crazy, they can spark back and we won't even know about it, and then there will be a caution. So we have 2 pats here at Daytona, and with 8 laps to go, Jordan Stout, Logan Williams, David Dixon, the top 3 here in the Daytona 500. And what could have been if only that suspension failure for the 14th while a caution.
That 50 car, David Dixon has absolutely inserted himself into this narrative for the end of the race. He moved around Fitzwater on the outside, which I thought was extremely impressive. Again, and he makes the move for second. Oh my. Now this is where the heart starts racing a little bit. We have 8 laps to go, approaching a 1-2 for 2311. I might have to just take the headset off and go pace. I will do my job and stay here, but these are tense moments. This is the biggest race of the year. They're coming down to the wire. Nathan, are you as excited as I? Oh, that could have been bad. J.R. Rippleton, what? That's...
Yeah, I saw that.
It's still a little too early for that, my friend.
Bradley about went to the inside of Littleton, and that was almost bad. And if that were to happen, that would have been most likely a caution. But we've seen the officials already want to say, "Oh my goodness, Jordan, it was almost to the inside of Fernandez." These guys are starting to get more aggressive here. They know that at this point, although we might not get a caution, and we need to get past Fitzwater, and we need to catch up with the top 2, but they just can't. This is so odd to see. But I'm not counting out a caution. The way that these guys are racing 3 by 3 by 3 behind him, Logan Williams is going to take the race.
Oh, pass for the lead.
Yeah, Logan Williams is going to try and take the race lead. What will Fitzwater do here? 6 laps to go in the Daytona 500. Jordan Stout will leave that lap.
That was wild. He had no help. Fitzwater had fallen off of the top 2. That was a attempt at a power move. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to bite Logan. Oh my. They just had to stay single file, the 2 of them, and the way the last 15 laps it feels like it's gone, it would have been a battle between those 2. However, this has introduced a completely new variable, as now Jordan Stout has a lapped car blocking the field for him. Now, I don't think he's doing it on purpose. There's absolutely no affiliation between these 2 cars, but interesting how it's worked out. And once again, the narrative changes as Noah Clifton is going to the inside.
How about
Not a pass for second. He is second.
Yep, he is second, and great one from Noah Clifton here today. The 5-seed veteran is great to see that he's been a part of this series for now 5 seasons. Oh my goodness, Logan Williams thought about doing something.
There's that 77 we talked about.
Yep. Hello, Sam Badillo. He has a shot. How about, oh my goodness, we're working together. Halverson and Wilkerson on this inside lane, pushing to the pushing to the front. 4 laps to go at the line. Most likely, this will be a caution-free Daytona 500. And this is looking really good for Jordan Stout in this number 23. No one can catch him. I'm still at a loss for words. Logan Williams trying to get past Fitzwater, but he's going to need some help. David Titson is going to help him on that inside. Never mind, he's not.
Oh.
He's not.
I'm curious to see if the cycle eventually takes place. Mind you, we are quickly running out of time. I say this from an unbiased perspective. I say this because it's been one of the strongest cars in the field before the incident with Andrew Miller. But Travis Crampton has made his way back to the bottom. If we can get that cycle going, that is a car that can win this race. I feel like, again, I don't mean this to be in a biased perspective. I feel like that's a car that can pass the 23, but he does not have a lot of time. We've got 3 laps to go.
Oh yeah, I think another car that can make that pass on the 23 is Logan Williams, but Fitzwater is being a pain in these leaders right now. I don't know what we're doing, but you can't win the 500 being a lap down.
Yes, especially now, like we've reached the point of no return. There's no. Do you do a free pass?
We do normally do the free pass, but it wouldn't even matter if it being.
Well, that's what I mean.
Return,
like
so.
it'd be one thing to race for it, with 10 to go, but now that we've reached the point of no return, a caution ends the race. I know he's not going to do it, and it's foolish to even consider it, but this would be a time to, just kind of pull over and let this one play out.
How about some of these straws that popped up late? Local one, Kenneth Miller, Alex Sanvatore, Aaron Abel in the number 11, all up front late. But once again, Logan Williams and Jordan Stout are doing the 2-car tandem. It's like Logan Williams can catch up to this 23, but he just can't get by the 23. And I think it might come down to these top 2. No one can really catch up in time. It's about to be the white flag in the Daytona 500. I don't know how this has happened, but we have had a brief return of the two-car tandem here today. White flag, final lap in the Daytona 500. Jordan Stout and Logan Williams lead us to the white. The Powerade 1 to go. And it's looking really good. If Logan Williams can get by Jordan Stout back, down the back stretch, we could have a race on our hands. If that does happen, maybe this pack has something to say for it, but this 23 is just so strong. And we saw it in the dual races, and yeah, I think that might do it. Oh,
that's this. That's interesting. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter ultimately, but here they come off turn 4. Nathan, take it away.
Unfortunately, all miles blew up on the final lap in a caution-free Wheeled 500. 23-11 racing in the Power Tuxedo champion from last year. Jordan Stout is a Daytona 500 champion.
Fantastic stuff right there. That's awesome. I'm so glad I could be in the booth for this one. That's by far and away, on the driver or owner side, that's probably my proudest moment in my career. So happy for Jordan and the team. Wow. That's why we signed him. We're expecting big things this year, and you can't start it off any better than that, plain and simple.
Fantastic way to kick it off for that 23-11 team. Of course, this 23 car won with Matthew Hubert last year late at Pocono, and already with a win here at Daytona. A very odd Daytona 500, but a caution-free 500. And that's nice to see, especially what happened last year. But surprised there's not a caution from the 14, but that really changed everything. We still had 24 cars in the lead pat, but some cars that just stayed up front were just gone. Like Stout, Williams, I don't know what they did to their cars, but we saw a brief return of the two-car tandem. They had like a 6/10 of a second lead at one point, all by themselves. And I don't know. May changes to the I, it didn't really matter when it was the 42 cars, but I guess when there was only 24, that's where it still mattered. But great win from Jordan Stout in a caution-free Daytona 500. Logan Williams gets second, Logan Dorn in third. How about Logan Dorn out of nowhere in third? And then Kenneth Miller in fourth out of nowhere. We didn't really see him all day. Alan Abel in 11th, Alexander Vitale in 6th. David Dixon, the highest Daytona 500 only driver, in 7th. Anthony Hernandez does not do the weekend sweep, but gets an 8th place finish. Noah Clifton in 9th, and Nicholas Samudio in 10th. Weem in 11th, Wilkinson in 12th, Zidell in 13th, Edwards in 14th, and once again, won strong all day long, but Crampton does not win and finishes in 15th. Kennington in 16th, Monaco in 17th, Lowe in 18th, Littleton in 19th for the second highest 500 driver. Duncan Halverson in 20th, Beal in 21st, Diacopo 22nd, Wood in 23rd, Spilly Tube in 24th, BP Ruiz in 25th. Wood ended up having 24 cars in the lead pat, so still overlapped the field like Jack said, but that was just so odd. Skylar Taylor in 26th, Joe Witkowski and Eli Bright 27th and 28th. And then Stuart Gwen, 29th, Hubert 30th, Barlow, Burnett, Lopez, Andrews, Sestry, Matthews, Wilmington 37th, Zachary Fitzgerald 1 lap down, Miller 1 lap down, all miles blew up late. And then of course Fargo had a suspension issue that probably should have been a caution, but it wasn't. And then Juan Garcia had a tire issue as well. Not much I can really say. That was an interesting 500. It's great to see a caution-free 500, but even with Jordan Stout and Logan Williams dominating, there was so much racing all over the place, and they could have wet. There was a couple of close calls, but these guys, they're some of the best in the business, and they kept it clean, even when the 14 had a suspension issue. So not much I can say. What's the final thoughts here in the Daytona 500?
Yeah, it was. I don't want to say unfortunate. It doesn't seem right to say that, but would have been great to see a little more racing for the lead. I mean, credit to Stout and Williams for being able to do that, to take the lead, to do that two-car tandem and hold off the field. But I mean, there's nothing you can say about it. Kind of like you alluded to, there's not much more to say whether you want to or not. Different from last year's race, from what I remember, and I didn't go back. I meant to go back and watch the replay, but I forgot. It seemed as though we had the same or similar drivers at the front of the field last year all race, but they weren't in that two-car tandem. It was kind of just like a double file traffic jam, if you will. So it's a little different situation, led to a similar outcome of just the same 2 or 3 guys at the front consistently. But like you said, from third on back, it was good racing. It was really good racing. They were not that typical cycle we're used to seeing for the most part. There was passing, but it wasn't a driver would get to the front of the pack and then would drop back immediately. So exciting stuff. We even had a full pack from 25th onwards. We don't even know what they were doing. We didn't watch them. There were some big names in that pack. There was probably exciting racing going on back there too, but we didn't get to see it, sadly, just with the issues happened earlier in the race. So all in all, I think that was I'm happy with that race. Not purely because my driver won, but I think it was a really good race. I wish we would have had everybody have a shot at it. Like I said, big names in the back that really never had a shot to win this race. But all in all, I think it was a good product. I think people are going to be happy with that one.
Oh yeah, racing wise, that was fairly interesting and fairly jam-packed and fun. Just fairly unfortunate of what happened to Varga. Went from leading and dominating to having a suspension issue and somehow didn't bring out a caution. I think that might, I don't know, that might spark a new rule for next year. I don't know. That probably should have been a caution. We have the power to do so, but I know we don't. But that instance probably should have. We'll take a look at it, but nevertheless, a great win from Jordan Stout and the team, and it's going to be interesting of what ends up happening. We did have some big names up front late, like Local Millions, Jordan Stout, Aaron Abel, Alexander Vitale, Hernandez won yesterday in the Krispy Kreme race, Clifton, Ream, Lydell, so many Penske cars, like we said, all speeds, so strong, and all 3 of the full-time cars finished inside the top 13. It's going to be interesting of how everything plays out, and that's only race 1. 17 races to go in the regular season. Next week, we are at Atlanta for the John Deere 400. Totally different than what we see here at Daytona. Old surface, the old Atlanta, and we're bringing a different tire. About the same fall off, but it's going to happen earlier. So, how do you think the John Deere 400 is going to go next week?
That's a fantastic question. I have, once again, I'm really bad with these getting put on the spot. I have no idea. Honestly, I'm not even going to try to come up with anything. Just to be completely honest with you, I'm going to have to go back and see how the race went last year. I'm expecting a competitive race. I can give you that much for sure. I'm expecting a very competitive race. I don't think we're going to see quite the pack racing we saw today necessarily, but I think it's going to be good. I mean, there aren't too many races that aren't good, so I'll be tuning in for sure. I'm excited to see it go down. I'm excited to see the whole season go down. This is only week 1. We got a long way to go.
Oh yeah, we got spring of the season, 28 point Spain races, plus the Clash, plus the All-Star race, basically 30 races on the season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see on how the lanes stack up throughout the season, because I think it could be a much more competitive season. I think Wilkowski will be up one at some point, but I don't think he will be able to dominate and win like 4 or 5 races in the regular season. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's going to be fairly interesting. Congratulations to Jordan Stout on winning the Daytona 500. An interesting one to say the least, but I think that might have been the first time that we've ever had a caution-free Daytona 500, so it's good to see, and we'll see if everything shakes out at Atlanta next week for both the Superspeedway National Series and the JBL Cup Series for the John Deere 250 and John Deere 400. The points will be at the end of the video and in the Discord, and for Jack Haas, I'm in Space 97, aka Nathan Stapleton, and we will see you guys next week at Atlanta for race 2 of the season.